Click the links for Odysee, BitChute, and if you sign up for coffee, you will get something very cool. My gratitude. So they say the cover is too sexist. Oh, cool, sexy. Sexy's good, right? No, sexist. Well, what's sexist about it? You have a girl on all fours with the title Smell the Glove. Was Scarlett Johansson a piece of ass? Well, she certainly wasn't an actor. What do you remember about her in any of her roles? She was cute with big milkers. And she had a stunt girl doing absolutely ridiculous stunts. Was she sexualized? Gee, you work in an industry where people cover up for Epstein and Weinstein. Even Barbara Walters and Oprah were covering up for the Woody Allen Roman Polanski crowd. Remember that interview with Barbara Walters and Corey Feldman? What a scumbag she turned out to be. Let me ask you this. Why isn't Amy Schumer or some other pig-human hybrid in the role of Black Widow? Because Schumer is hideously fat and ugly. Hey, you and I are also fat and ugly. That's why we're not in these roles. Nobody wants to pay to see normal people on a screen. Was she sexualized? I don't think so. She wasn't dancing around like Nicki Minaj, whose music videos are 4 minutes of her mimicking primate mating rituals. Seriously, female hip-hop is just them spreading their legs and miming sex acts, and nobody seems to say anything about it. That is something you think is cool when you're 15, and by the time you're like 16, you've outgrown it and you realize how cringe it is, and it's just kind of embarrassing. Yes, animals enjoy mating. We get it. Dear Nikki, who I feel confident is listening to this, you're actually talented. You don't need to act like a whore. Cardi B does that because she is sans talent. Nicki Minaj is really, really talented. She can actually rap, and I'm not a huge fan of rap. It seems like the hip-hop retirement plan is to get shot and robbed. Oh no, they killed Pookie. Wait, didn't they kill Pookie last week? Oh, this is a different Pookie. Scarlett said she thought she was hypersexualized because Tony, whatever the guy's name is, Rob Down Judy, said, I want a piece of that in reference to her. I wouldn't say that makes you hypersexualized. Scarlett Johansson has everything in the right place, but to me, she looks kind of short and dumpy. That other chick with the candle looked way sexier to me. Gwyneth Paltrow might actually be retarded, but she is elegant and beautiful. The character, Black Widow, that she plays is the honey trap. Honey traps only work if the honey tastes good. Spies use good looks and sex to get people to loosen up. Who was that? Eric Swalwell case. Amy Schumer isn't in the role because most people throw up at the thought of her naked. Oh, God, and seeing her in the movies where they, like, push this fiction that she's attractive is just... How does anyone on the set take that serious? Oh, because you're getting paid a lot of money to pretend that Amy Schumer is good looking. It's freaking bizarre. And what does hypersexualization mean? It sounds, I don't know, sounds like a lot of lubricant is required. What amount of sexualization is okay? How sexy is too sexy? She was in her 20s when she did these roles, and now she's getting older. She's got a kid. Her body is slowing down. Her time as the hot chick is over, so now she doesn't want to play those roles anymore. Gee, how stunning and brave of you. You were glad to hoard up for 15 years, but when you aged out of the Weinstein window for sexy roles, you claimed that they did it to you. Dude, you were over 18, you weren't a kid. If you didn't want to wear a bodysuit, nobody forced you. And you are aware that you're playing a comic book character, right? Other than manga, it's about the silliest thing I can imagine. All of this just feels like these Hollywood cokeheads are on another planet. You get paid millions to run around in a bodysuit. Do these Hollywood types ever stop to listen to themselves? You guys worshipped Weinstein and Roman Polanski, actual predators. Why are you pretending that you were anything other than filthy whores? Dear filthy whores, get over yourself and please shut the F up. Your claim to trauma is that a character implied that he wanted to have sex with your character. How will you manage to recover from that PTSD? These people, their whole lives have been told that they are brilliant, just showered with accolades. They never get told any real feedback. Start a video channel. I guarantee you will get nonstop feedback. People complain about every little thing, and before you complain, that is a good thing because it smooths the rough edges off. Getting your ass kissed your whole life means that some people are just can be needlessly cruel. Getting your ass kissed your whole life means you're going to come up with a lot of bad ideas, like twat candles. Some people in Hollywood seem to remain grounded, but others start to get this insanely overinflated sense of their own importance. And the media is their worst enemy because the media just wants a story. They just want little sound bites. So they will gladly kiss the actor's ass just to keep them talking, just nodding and like echo chamber confirmation bias everything they say just to get like a good headline. How do you get dumb see you next Tuesdays like Johansson and Brie Larson? They probably had a life of never getting their rough edges rounded off and being told that they were to the left of the bell curve. And somebody like Brie Larson, you're selling a movie and you get on stage and you tell half the audience that you don't want the audience. And nobody ever, like, not even that nobody ever takes you aside and says, oh, yeah, don't do that again. It's that when she did that, she was like in her 30s. She told half the crowd not to come to her, not to support her film. How do you get to a place mentally where you think that's a good idea? I don't know. That's insane. It blows my mind. I like normal people see you behave like this. I'm like, are you insane? Are you literally a crazy person? They've been made crazy. I think part of it is like narcissistic people probably go into acting and then they just get all this feedback and they're just like staring in the lake their whole life and they see this, this narcissistic portrait of Dorian Gray type thing. Okay, so she did an interview and she said, and I think she remembered to claim, see, this is the hot chick, Gwyneth Paltrow. Is that Gwyneth Paltrow? And she's old as hell in this movie and she's still gorgeous. And she's like 50 now and I don't know what is it about Scarlett Johansson. I look at her and like the needle for me doesn't move at all. Where I look at Gwyneth Paltrow and think, oh, she is just elegant, gorgeous, and classy. She just looks, I don't know, just too base, too earthy, I don't know. So she says there's a sort of sexualization of superheroes. How did that affect Black Widow? Sexualization of superheroes. You're talking about comic books, I don't know, written post-war time when they kind of blew up. That kind of gradually got more sexualization. Nah, it's a kind of hard thing to say because it's like, yeah, the body types of both the male and the females are exaggerated characters, but when you're of an age reading comic books, you don't see the females, because it's a male audience, you don't see the females as sexual because usually comic books you're just not quite in puberty. I think is like when they're more like when your peak comic book reading time is kind of before puberty, and even if you're in puberty, it's like it's comic book characters. I don't very few people. It's like they just want to see these exaggerated caricatures of characters, and so like all the chicks have D cups and all the guys are like professional powerlifters. But I don't think anyone is sexually attracted to a comic book because it's just not real enough. Like you're more into the stories. So yeah, you're playing a role of just some nonsense little character that's just designed to sell advertising. Now you're complaining it's sexualized. I don't feel any sexual feelings towards Scarlett Johansson. Though I recognize that like everything's in the right place and other people are into that kind of body anyway. Yeah, it definitely has changed, and she sounds like a effing idiot in this interview. Like, why wouldn't you, I don't know, practice interviews? You've been doing this for like 15 years. Yeah, it definitely has changed, and I think part of that change has it's hard because I'm inside it, but probably a lot of that is actually from me too. What's the English translation of that? You don't know. I'll be 35 years old, and I'm a mom, and my life is different. So you're aging out of the sexy role is what you're saying. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'm sure she'll be beautiful for a long time, but Hollywood is rock is cock type of thing, and Hollywood is 35 is old in Hollywood. Where in the real world you'd be like, oh, she's still a gorgeous chick, but I'm sure she'll be 45 and gorgeous. My life is different. Obviously, 10 years have passed and things have happened, and I have a much different, more evolved understanding of myself. Again, this is a lot of word salad, but you're not reaching a conclusion. Like, what's the issue? Something about sexualization. What's the analysis? I don't know. It's word salad. What's the conclusion? You don't reach a conclusion, except this is like Iraq, but you stick with the issue only. As a woman, I'm in a different place in my life, and I felt more forgiving. Any time you say like or right at the end of a sentence, you should be more polished than that. I feel more forgiving of myself as a woman, and not sometimes, probably not enough. I'm more accepting of myself, I think. How can you give an interview this bad where you sound like an idiot? Polish this stuff up. Take some notes before you give some interviews. She went on to discuss the hypersexualization of Black Widow in Iron Man 2. All those Iron Man movies were fun. For me, that Iron Man series was probably the best of the superhero genre in the last 20 years. I mean, the Batman 2006 films were good, but Iron Man was just kind of silly fun. Like Marvel is silly fun, where DC was always a little bit more serious. She continued, really talked about like she's a piece of something. You sound like an idiot, like a possession or a thing. I mean, I sound like an idiot too, but I'm just some loser on YouTube. If I had to give an interview with some magazine, being a Hollywood star, I would be taking careful notes beforehand and crafting it out like like you're getting ready for a debate. So you have they call them like boilerplate phrases set in your head. That's how polished people give interviews. They don't think on the fly. So you have this plotted out beforehand, so you sound elegant and beautiful, even if you're not. Because most people are not good on the fly. Like there are some like YouTubers who are very, very good on the fly. Like Cecil is excellent. Just you can throw things at him, and he's very, very quick. Other people can give nuanced, multifaceted discussions of things, but not on the fly. It takes time for them to articulate themselves. So if I knew, like myself, I'm not very good on the fly. But if I was a Hollywood actor, I'd be like working this out with somebody. Hey, we need to practice an interview so I can have some boilerplate statements coming out. Like a possession or a thing, whatever. Well, technically, you are a thing. Like a piece of ass, really. Yes, you're a piece of ass. So is, I guess, Tony Stark, or whoever these characters. They're all pieces of ass. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. If you're a lady and you're looking to mate, then yes, you view the males as pieces of ass. Who are the three characters in Marvel? Thor, Guardians of the Galaxy guy, Quill, and who's the other guy? Thor, Peter Quill, and that other guy. There's like one more guy who's like tall and blonde. I forget it. There's like three characters in Marvel who are like these, fit blonde dudes, and the chicks are like, why do you think they're going to see? What was Aquaman? Why do you think Aquaman did so well with the female audience? Because this dude, he's on a little growth hormone, a little Deca and Clan, and he's got his shirt off for half the movie, and chicks are just like creaming their jeans watching this dude. Sex sells. But you don't hear whatever that guy is, Tony, I don't know, whatever. He was into some movie where he was playing a Cuban guy, but he was speaking with a Mexican accent or something. It was a bizarre film. Anyway, you don't hear them whining because they're just stacking cash. And you were stacking cash for 15 years, and now you've aged out of the role, and you're like I was treated like a piece of ass or whatever. So, for 15 years, you weren't a kid. You gladly, you've got, I don't know, big tits for your body frame. They're probably D's. You were just glad to show those things off and get paid because it's like you're not, you could be waiting tables and, making a fraction of what you'd be making doing this, these stupid movies. And yes, they're stupid movies. They're just fun, stupid movies. And most people realize that. Most people don't take themselves this seriously. It's like, I'm making fun, stupid movies, and I have a house in Malibu, and I have a rental in, like, I don't know, Sweden or something, where I fly on a private jet to go skiing. Like, life is pretty freaking good. So these Hollywood, these San Francisco fart sniffers, it's just insane. Drives me insane. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you on BitChute and Odysee.